And we are off. Right now, Arispici is going to Quickman stage. Casual Chomp is following suit, doing Quickman as well. Right now, we are doing Burst Chaser with any percent rules, so zips are allowed. And we are also doing zips because we are doing Tournament A. Sorry for the technical issues. We'll try to get that straight away as soon as possible. But for right now, we are still live and running. Our runners are still going at a very quick clip. So once again, Ari, right now, well, once we get our runners synced up, we should assume that our runners are actually running stride for stride right now. Going to Quickman stage first because it's one of the easiest to do with our safeties. Get an easy E-tank and maybe a life along the way so we can get safeties up and running. And we actually get a vanilla Quickman in Quickman's room, of all things. Casual Tom was able to quickly dispense of Quickman. Don't get an item for it. Ari should have a easy time with Quickman. It's Buster Soft Week, so it shouldn't have too much trouble. And there we go. Ari, not too far behind Casual Tom, syncing pending. But for right now, Casual Tom's going to Flash. Ari's opted to go to Bubble Man. Flash is usually one of the second places we go to just to get our other safety E-tank that's under usual circumstances be easy to get. But going to Bubble Man as long as we have a safety is equally as fine. So as we get our game value situation sorted, we're gonna be having our runners just go through the motions, especially since this is reveal stages. Everyone usually has a bit of a pre-planned route to go when the stages are visible and not necessarily hidden. And as we've seen as Casual Tom going through the top, our walls, which does have a randomized attribute, is Buster Weak, so we don't have to worry about searching for wall weaknesses for anything else, especially for the booming cannon. Meanwhile, we got, as we figured, we got ourselves a little bit of a boss swap. Flashman taking care of things in Bubble Man's boss room, while Bubble Man was taking care of things in Flash's room. But Casual Tom did get an item going from, well, never mind, both our runners wind up getting items. You get an item 2 in Flashman stage, while Bubble Man stage holds item 3. So both our runners actually gonna wind up trading spaces here. So yeah, once Casual Tom and Ari take care of these two stages, both of them are gonna have the same amount of Robot Masters done, both stages and Robot Masters, and we'll have the same amount of items, both of them having item 2 and item 3. And it looks like we got, thanks to our SpeedGaming volunteers who keeping us honest in the back, making sure that our runners are synced up. Now we actually have a pure indication on who's technically ahead, and right now Casual Tom has the early advantage. It looks like Flashman is a little bit stronger to the Buster, so two hits per shot. But still a very easy fight, taking Flashman out with ease. Ari a little slower on the get-go, but about to go to the Flashman boss room, gonna take care of Bubble Man. Should be a relatively easy fight. Gonna see if he sticks with the Buster or test one of the weapons that was found. Once again, for those that aren't familiar with the Mega Man 2 randomizer, the weapons you gain are randomized amongst the bosses you defeat. But looks like he didn't need it. Bubble Man is Buster Soft Weak. as Casual Tom does go to Airman, where our local space monkeys just decide to go home to their home planet, making Casual Tom's run, at least at the first half of Airman, a pretty safe ride. Ari's about to follow suit, gonna get the same good news as our friendly space monkeys pretty much just clear a way for Ari. And probably about, well, in terms of game distance, about more than half a stage behind, but still very, very close because of the first chaser's speed. Looks like we got our Woodman analog. Thanks to our spriting team for adding these sprites so we can have our robot masters have a little bit more extra oomph to them, or maybe extra oof, depending on how you think. But still, props to our spriting team nonetheless for the hard work of getting such variety of sprites in for our, not only for our robot masters, but for our enemies as well. Meanwhile, Ari also taking down our Woodman. Once again, a little longer fight, dealing with 2 hits per shot. Casual Tom trying to do the second screen zip with the pause buffering. Was successfully able to get it, but just did not position himself correctly on the follow through. Wound up falling down and taking a death. Meanwhile, Ari, realizing that item 1 is what we got from air, opts to do it the other way. Casual Tom winds up doing it a second time, but as a result, winds up yielding a little bit of that lead to Ari. So right now, it's pretty close between our runners right now. Of course, Casual Tom taking the unforced death. Gotta keep check of his life counts in case you want to do any other possible zips that does require a death abuse. But meanwhile, both Ari and Casual Tom pretty much run stride for stride. Ari not opting to use the item to climb the walls, climb the ladders, and rightfully so, because Burst Chaser, as far as these settings go, augments our player character's speed tremendously. So items, especially like item 3 that you will normally see for the crash climb, their effectiveness gets seriously reduced. So right now, Casual Tom taking care of the safeties, trying to get back to where he was in the beginning, winds up using the lead a bit to Ari. Ari the first to take out our Airman analog, look like a big old piece or a big old cookie, and winds up taking him out. Airman being pretty much of a broy here. While Casual Tom is looking for a weakness, winds up wasting a little bit of time trying to do some weakness hunting. Ended up going back to Buster after all the hunting. One of the major high-risk, high-reward situations, because even though you may find a weakness for a robot master in these randomized settings, you can also waste a lot of time if you don't find a weakness in a quick manner, thanks to all the extra menuing. So as a result, Ari winds up taking a little bit of a notable lead, but not too much of a lead. Still probably just a couple of screens ahead of Casual Tom right now. As Ari takes care of our final hot dog and is about to go to the top of the treehouse. Probably not going to go for the Goodwood zip. Goodwood's a little bit more dangerous in these settings with the augmented speed, trying to move about and try to do all the proper memorizations of the layouts in a speedy manner. In the meanwhile, as we saw, Ari also took an unfortunate death, wound up getting beaten up by the hot dogs quite a bit. So Casual Tom once again catches up just a little bit, but Ari still maintaining that lead. As we go to our Woodman boss room, once again I just want to welcome everybody joining SpeedGaming 3 once again. This is your boy LV Creed here on comms, watching Casual Tom and Arispici duking it out in our second round matchup for the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament. both of them about to take on Crashman, who makes residence in Woodman's room. It looks like we find a soft weakness in Air Shooter. Ari trying to do pause canceling to try to get the Air Shooter fired as quickly as possible. Casual Tom having a little bit more easier time. Plays the Air Shooter a little bit closer to the wall so the other projectile pieces exit the screen faster. It's to take note that one of the main things that we add to the randomizer, as Ari unfortunately takes a dip, probably try to reset those lives. Ooh, Casual Tom seeing that item 1 is doing a trick, as he probably should have saw that in Crashman. He did successfully did the Zeb on second run, but yeah, item 1 is insanely good. Item 1 being our only randomized attribute when it comes to items, as item 2 and item 3 are usually necessary to continue on through the Wily stages. If those are randomized to unwinnable functions, we wouldn't have a completed game now, would we? But as mentioned, Ari taking the game over, restarting Heatman's stage, while Heatman winds up taking residence in Metalman's room. Finds out that he's Buster Soft weak, so 4 units of damage per shot. Very favorable, due to Heatman's mechanic of being invincible every time he takes a hit. Meanwhile, Ari's about to go into Heatman's boss room. About to face our Robot Master there. I'm gonna assume it might be Metal Man, so we're gonna do a little bit of a Robot Master swap again. And Metal Man's also Soft Buster weak. So this should be a very swift fight for Ari, but still only about half a stage behind Casual Tom. We'll see how our runners fare by the time we get to the Wily stages. But right now, Casual Tom does have the slight edge, but both our runners are very, very good at the randomizer, so any given mistake could yield a numerous amount of lead changes, as you saw in the early goings of this race. Already trying to set up this item 1 zip for Metal Man, trying to get in position, but the Burst Chaser is kind of making the position a little bit rough. Fortunately, the item 1 is very favorable, very long-lasting. Ari was able to get the Metal Zip, but considering the high speed of the Burst Chaser, you might have still potentially lost a little bit of time compared to just running after trying to do all those attempts. Casual Tom quickly dispensing of Metal Man, and will be the first one to go to our Wily stages. As always, when we come to Wily Stage 1, we like to play a little bit of a guessing game. You know, just to have fun between our runners. So, we have ourselves a Mega Dragon. Our Mega Dragon does have a number of randomized attributes. It has, of course, color, it has weakness, and it has a design. You in chat, your job is to guess all of those aspects, and hopefully you may be right and get a nice hearty handshake from me, virtually of course. But yeah, for those designs, you can have a vanilla dragon, a dragon with 2 sets of shades, one a little more animated than others, one that looks like it comes straight from the 80s. Get our Ultra Dragon, our Unicorn Dragon, our Dragoncorn with a cute little horn on its head, our Swag Dragon, and a Mystery Dragon that has yet to appear in the tournament, but I know it exists. It's been seen. Some of our runners had confirmed to be seen. We're just hoping that the dragon's not shy to make its first tournament appearance. And with the speed of these runners, I'm not going to be able to make a guess by the time Casual Tom makes it to the dragon. So let's see what kind of dragon we're going to have here. Ah, we got a vanilla dragon. And it's mostly a shade of red, so if you guess a vanilla red dragon, you're 2/3 of the way there. What's the weapon though? A lot of the second page is useless. The buster didn't work. Is it gonna be Leaf Shield? Leaf Shield is one of our weapons. But okay, so it's vanilla, red, and either Leaf Shield or Atomic Fire. Deadly will go for Atomic Fire. It's supercharged, it fires fast, and of course it deals damage. So if you guess any one of those combinations, congratulations, you got my very well-earned handshake. So let's see how soon Ari is able to get to those weapons. Unfortunately, it's a case of because of heat and wood being our weapons, those are usually one of the last weapons that our runners will choose from because of how unwieldy they are, or can potentially be. So Ari, unfortunately, taking quite a bit of time finding Atomic Fire to continue on, but he does beat the Mega Dragon and follows suit Casual Tom, once again maintaining that half-stage lead. Casual Tom a little bit away to our Pika units. Our Pika's... Oh, Ari! No! Somehow Ari just missed the ladder entirely. That... Not to get on our runners, but that is something you normally do not see. And because of that, he does not have enough items to make the item 2 fly. Wound up having to get a timely drop from an enemy. Fortunately, it came as soon as possible, but that put Ari very, very far behind now compared to Casual Tom, who's doing our Pico blobs this seed, finding our bubbles in the guise of Surf Snake, and gonna go from there. He saw Leaf Shield as a weakness, but it's a two-shotter. You kinda don't want to use a two-shot Leaf Shield in this kind of fight. And Ari takes another uncharacteristic death. Burst Chaser causing a lot of trouble for Ari, as he's pretty much stuck here, needed to get some items for his item 2 fly to continue on. I think in this case it might have been, especially since he's on 0 lives, to consider taking the game over, but now he's so far deep into his farming, he might as well just continue on. But the game, not being kind on the farming, took quite a bit of time to get the required energy to get that item 2 filled, as Casual Tom goes to the surprisingly clean waters of Wally Stage 3, going down the spike drop, which is very, very dangerous in Burst Chaser settings, but Casual Tom, like a skilled technician, is able to bob and weave through the spike fall without even needing a pause to reset his velocity and continue on. That is some very skilled hand coordination that even I, who's been around this for a long time, have a hard time to master. As we go to our, well, it could have been a Gust tank, but right now it's a surprise Technodrome. Casual Tom's doing the weakness hunt, especially since Buster is not a weakness. Is it going to second page? It's definitely second page. Metal Blade doing the trick. Get up close and personal, and that takes care of our Technodrome. Ari, meanwhile, undaunted, in spite of the death, still gonna continue on. After all, the game is not over until there is a dot done after all. So he's gonna continue fighting the Pico units, finding bubbles to do the job as well. Casual Tom going up the vertical reaches of Volley Stage 4. Jumping over the area, knowing that the pits are randomized, but thanks to the long jumping of Burst Chaser with the augmented speed, he's able to safely navigate and cleanly go through these areas. Meanwhile, our Zyderu, right now we see one frog, but will we see any more than that in our next room? These Zyderus can be pretty dangerous, but depending on the weapon, depending on the enemy placements, they can be nothing more than just rest stops. And right now, I'd say it's medium in terms of anxiety. Because you got to deal with all the lag that the frogs deal with the little tadpoles. But once again, Casual Tom, being no stranger to this kind of format, skillfully just goes through and just runs through the gauntlet and goes to the Pico Pico units. So we know that the units are not going to be weak to the Buster. That's meant for the walls. Meanwhile, Casual Tom's going to try our God weaknesses and try to find our other weaknesses for the turrets themselves. Ari, unfortunately, taking an unfortunate game over in probably the toughest area in the screen. Gets that on the second go, but unfortunately, it did cost Ari a game over. So he had to do what he had to do. Once again, just the augmented speed of Bird Chaser, kind of giving Ari a little bit of extra fits. Casual Tom finding quick boomerang. Just pretty much on a needle's thread. He could only take one. He could not take an extra hit, but was able to find quick boomerang and dispense of all the booming turrets. And now it's our first in 3 fights. And right now, it's definitely in Casual Tom's favor. We know that it's Heatman's Buster weak, but he does find quick boomerang as a substitute. Still able to get through Heatman quickly. And right now, regardless of where Casual Tom is, he's pretty much very, very far ahead. It's going to take a near disaster for Ari to catch up, because he's pretty much now starting Wally 4. But yeah, once again, thanks to Chungus, our absolute dedicated tracker, giving you a little bit of a bonus. Giving you the lowdown on which bosses have been defeated in the rematches. Right now, this is our fifth robot master that Casual Tom's about to defeat. Now it's about to go to our 16 Flash. Ari going to our anxiety rooms. We're gonna see how he handles the Lagphibian room in the next screen. Casual Tom was able to do an out of 2 fly successfully. Will Ari do the same? Attempt to do the same, or is going to use out of 1 to try to skip it? You're gonna attempt an out of 2 fly. It should be successful. And that is all our robot masters done on Casual Tom's side. We're gonna see if is it gonna be the Buster? No! He's gonna forego the Buster check and gonna go straight for our weapons, finding heat being good for both phases. Casual Tom pretty much on the path to victory road, as we would like to say here. It just got one more alien and one more weakness to deal with. As Ari's dealing with the booming turrets, he's gonna find soon enough that quick boomerang is the answer, but we're gonna see how long he's gonna be digging through the weapons to find that out. Alright, to our final boss. With some awesome Lil Nemo music. Very proper. As Wally Kate turned into Wally, who's susceptible to lemons. And that is GG. Casual Tom finishing the run with a race time.gg time of 24 minutes and 13 seconds. And this is a best of 3, so we will have a race 2, but Ari's gonna be a little bit behind the 8 ball, as he's gonna need the means to try to catch up. See if we can have a potential audio adjustment. on Ari's end, since Ari's volume was a bit low. But once again, GG to Casual Tom for the victory in match 1. We're gonna cheer Ari on to finish up the seed. It shouldn't take too long, especially with Burst Chaser speed. But yeah, it shows pretty much it's just a pure difference of experience. Because this is, as per tournament rules, we do allow our runners to set the settings for our runs, for our races. And the first one was Casual Tom's pick. So Burst Chaser was one of the settings that Casual Tom used, and that is the mode that Casual Tom definitely excels at, and it shows in Race 1. We're gonna see if Ari gonna try to flip the script a little bit and try to choose a setting that is to his favor. There we go. Once again, we love Speed Gaming here. Thanks to the hardworking people at Speed Gaming for managing not only this randomizer tournament, but every other tournament that comes along each and every of the Speed Gaming channels. Be sure to follow and potentially subscribe to all of the Speed Gaming family of channels as they host this tournament and many, many others. Ari quickly spotting the atomic fire, quickly dispenses of the Wally machine. Gonna finish this run. Gonna take care of our man-made Wally. Opted to go for the weapons. Well, pretty sure that Ari knows by now that Casual Tom has won, so there's really no harm in getting the safety just in case. But it's gonna be pleasantly surprised that that our alien is gonna be weak to the Buster. So Ari quickly finding the Buster. And that is GG for Ari. Coming in with official race time.gg time of 27:37. A well-raced match, but once again, it's Casual Tom being used to Burst Chaser settings that gave him a pretty significant advantage for race 1. But we will have race 2 where Ari will be picking the settings for our next race, and that will be coming up very shortly. So sit back, hang tight, and we'll be back for race 2. So see you in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. We are back. Relatively short break. Our runners are already prepped up and prepared for the next match of the tournament. Once again, this is your boy LV Creed on the comms. Shout out to 2% Chungies, who has been diligently working with the tracking in the back. And we are ready for match 2 of our match between Casual Tom and Arispici. Casual Tom winning race 1 with the burst taster advantage, but this time we're going to be doing mostly the same thing, but as you would expect, Ari is turning off the high speed, seeing if a slowed down, more methodical route will be to Ari's advantage. In terms of skill level, Ari is a little bit more of a seasoned vanilla Mega Man 2 runner compared to Casual Tom, but Casual Tom has been through the gamut before, messing around with a lot of ROM hacks. Very tough ones to be exact as well. We should be good to go in a few seconds as we see the countdown, at least on Ari's side. And there we go. So our cosmetics are a little different, but I'm pretty sure that we're still on the same seats here, as both our runners do go to Quickman. Quickman stays at our first going. So once again, for those that have missed the first race, yes, it was indeed Burst Chaser. So if you miss our suckers going fast, you missed a pretty interesting race. It would definitely favor Casual Tom, but once again, as mentioned before, we turned off the speed here, and we're gonna see if it goes to Ari's advantage.